Hey there, welcome into the show. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr., and no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. Training camp is underway. 2 practices in the books, so this is a part of our Niners training camp coverage. We're going to do a day 2 training camp practice reaction, take a look at the most recent developments as far as the Niners roster battles. We'll touch on the latest San Francisco 49ers news, and a whole lot more. Here's everything going down on the 49ers rundown. What went down at practice today? Brock Purdy, very sharp. Mac Jones, very good. We had the highlight of the day from a UDFA wide receiver. We'll dive into all of that. San Francisco today also signing another wide receiver in light of the Jacob Cowing hamstring injury yesterday. Outside of Cowing's injury, every member of this team healthy coming out of that second practice today for San Francisco. We have a Jauan Jennings update from NFL insider Ian Rappaport, and of course we'll break down all of the latest developments around the Niners roster battles and 49ers camp news. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, by the way, for the best, most elite, most consistent Niners coverage right here on YouTube anytime I'm talking Niners. I want our content to be insightful, informative, entertaining, thought-provoking, and I always want you to have a voice. And as part of our content strategy, we're talking Niners news, analysis, updates, reactions, breaking news, rumors, and a whole lot more. So join the more than 163,000 people who have already subscribed to the channel and hop on board the movement right now. As for the news prior to the Niners hitting the practice field, it's this. San Francisco signing another wide receiver. Remember on Monday how the Niners worked out 6 wideouts? 2 of those 6, Equinemius St. Brown and Quintez Cephus, they have signed with the Niners this week. More on Cephus as a player, 27 years old, 6'1", 208, so some pretty solid size at that wide receiver spot with him. But Equinemius St. Brown is also 6'5". So the Niners adding 2 receivers who add some physicality to this Niners offense. Cephus was a 5th-round pick in 2020 by the Detroit Lions and spent the first 3 years of his career in Detroit. But then his career has been derailed since then. In 2023, he was suspended due to a gambling violation, and then last year, he did not appear in a regular season game, has not appeared in a regular season game since 2022, but he hopped around with the Buffalo Bills, Houston Texans, and the Los Angeles Rams. His career numbers in 22 games, 6 starts, 60 targets, 37 catches, 568 yards, but 4 touchdowns, and 15.4 yards per catch. He can make plays downfield because he's a big-bodied wide receiver who can open up throwing lanes for his quarterback because he can box out DBs, use that frame and that physicality to his advantage, and that allows him to go up and get it and just overall make some plays downfield. And he's become a very trusted target from his quarterbacks in his NFL career. A reason why he slipped in the draft, and a reason why he probably hasn't been on top of the radar for a lot of teams looking for wideouts. He's a slower player, a 4.7 40-yard dash coming out of Wisconsin. Very similar to Jauan Jennings, who is not big, he's not a blazer, but Jauan Jennings is a deceptive route runner. He too can use his frame to box out corners to open up a throwing lane for Brock Purdy. And I also think Jauan Jennings just has an innate feel for the game. And so I don't expect Cephus or Equinemius St. Brown to make the 53-man roster, but shoot, this is a Niners wide receiver spot that has a lot of question marks right now. And this came after Jacob Cowing pulled a hamstring on Wednesday, the first practice of training camp for San Francisco. Cowing, who was a star in the spring, projected to be one of the breakout candidates for this team, pulled a hammy running against air. And it's unfortunate for him because of the direction where he was going, the ascent that he seemingly was on, but I was excited to see what his role could be with this Niners offense early in training camp. 4.4 speed, highly productive player throughout his entire college career, ended at Arizona, and he was one of the more productive receivers in college football. But he has vertical speed, but he also has some of that short area quickness and wiggle to pick up yards after the catch. And so hopefully he's not going to be out too long. But this Niners wide receiver room, it's in a precarious spot right now. Brandon Aiyuk, we have some video of him that we'll show you later, running some light routes today. That's a good sign, but John Lynch earlier this week said we're not even close to having a concrete timeline for when he can come back. I think it's going to be around the midway portion of the 2025 season. Ricky Pearsall has been doing some sprints at Niners training camp, but he had a bad hamstring injury, according to Kyle Shanahan, in the spring, and that's an injury you never want to mess around with. And outside of Jauan Jennings, just relative unknowns at the receiver position. Will Demarcus Robinson get that DUI suspension levied upon by the NFL? Jordan Watkins, really intriguing rookie with 4.3 speed, but again, he's a rookie. Cowing is out. Isaiah Nayer had the play of training camp today. You have Tariq Owens, Russell Gage, Equinemius St. Brown, Quintez Cephas, Isaiah Hodgins, Junior Bergen, and Malik Knowles in that receiver room. The Niners have 14 wideouts on the 90-man roster by my count right now, but none of them really star-level players without Aiyuk. Jennings is very good. He showed up to Niners training camp on Monday when he reported, or Tuesday, excuse me. He practiced on Wednesday, practiced again today. There's no hold-in, there's no hold-out, and this is so refreshing compared to what we saw with the contract drama, the contract sagas for his fellow wide receivers, Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo Samuel, who's obviously with the Commanders. Jauan Jennings, all business, and he said, I want to get paid, but I'm going to show up, and hopefully that improves his chances of getting paid. But this update for me in Rappaport, pretty notable considering what he said. I think what's going on, Rapp said, is a good faith situation between the 49ers and Jauan Jennings. The 49ers tell Jauan to come back to practice and do everything he needs to do to get ready for the season, and we'll take care of you. It wouldn't surprise me if they give him a 2-year extension, close to $13 million per year before the season starts. That would keep him with the team through the 2027 season. So I've always said that neighborhood for Jennings, I would pay him $11 to $15 million per year. I think that's a great price range for him when he's making $7.5 right now. He has an opportunity to come close to doubling his salary. He's been a very valuable player for San Francisco. He's important to the Niners' culture. He's important to their play style. He's been a great developmental player for San Francisco, a former 7th-round pick who didn't make the 53 as a rookie. And then he's gotten better every year, and last year had a breakout campaign with those 975 receiving yards. So I think $13 million would be a really good going rate for a very good number 3, number 2 wide receiver who, again, means so much to this Niners offense. So with that, I want to get the comment section going here. 130 people watching live, 30 likes as you come in here. Be sure to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Answer this question for me down in the comments section. Are you worried about the Niners wide receiver situation? I am. Type yes, type no. Join the conversation down in the comments section right now. I see average Niner fans saying kind of. Joe Guerrero chiming in saying go Niners. Joseph Ernberg saying Isaiah Nayer is the truth. Jack's Gaming, go Niners from Tennessee. Big Brick 84 saying what's up, Chase? What's up, faithful fam? Yo, it's so good to be chopping it up, talking Niners with the rest of the faithful producer Chip here, riding shotgun to my left. Here is our Super Chat menu, by the way. If you want to get the party popping and you want to send in a donation, a Super Chat is like tipping a bartender, except you're tipping the host. If you like the content that we do, this goes a long way in supporting the program and our entire company. When I first started covering the Niners on the Niners Report in 2021, we had 8 employees here at Chat Sports. We are now north of 40. And a big reason for that, all the support that all of you give us, including those Super Chats. So all Super Chats get a shout out. $10, I'm going to give you a San Fran Cisco. $20, I'm going to chant your name. $50, 49ers beer mug chug. And if somebody sends in a $100 Super Chat, I am going to send you a 49ers Report hat. There is also something new and exciting that YouTube is doing. Their Top Fans feature. How this goes is the more comments that you send in, the more Super Chats that you send in, the more that you interact with the channel, the more XPs you get, meaning points. And so, for instance, Candy Winslow has sent in a lot of Super Chats, and she's always in the comment section. She has her notifications on. She is our #1 YouTube top fan right now. You have Go 49ers in second place, and then you have Joseph in third place. For instance, if you were to send in a $50 super chat, you will skyrocket up that leaderboard, and you can become the 49ers Report top fan. We'll be keeping tallies of that during our live show here today. All right, I'm about ready to do our day 2 49ers practice reaction from training camp, but I do encourage you to get your questions in. I want to do a mailbag after segment number 1. So you can get involved, you can get your questions answered by using the hashtag 49ers or sending in a super chat. There are so many comments that come in, and so this allows producer Chip to filter out the rest of the fluff to get to your questions. So use the hashtag 49ers or send in a super chat to be a part of our mailbag. We can talk roster battles, we can talk trades, roster news, you can relay a hot take if you have it. Whatever you want to say or ask pertaining to the Niners, you can accomplish that as part of our mailbag. Use the hashtag 49ers or send in a super chat. And I have one more favor to ask you before we get started. About 150 people watching live, 47 likes. If you're ready to talk some Niners here on this show, hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. The more likes that we get, the more people who find the stream, the more fun that we will have on the program here today. With this many people watching, we should be able to get to 100 likes in the next 30 seconds. So smash that thumbs up icon, like the video right now, and let's do a day 2 training camp reaction. Hey there, welcome into the show. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. Thank you so much for supporting the show and making today's 49ers Report a part of your day. Coming up, a day 2 training camp reaction. There is so much to talk about, so much to discuss. There was the play of camp so far. Who made it? We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Brock Purdy very sharp on the second day of Niners practice. Mac Jones balled out for the Niners today in Santa Clara. This running back room, led by Christian McCaffrey, looking really good. And, of course, we'll talk Niners roster battles as well. But topic number 1, the play of Niners training camp, and it's being talked about as one of the best plays over the last few years throughout Niners training camp by people who cover this team very closely. Mac Jones, former Alabama quarterback, who started off his NFL career with the Patriots. Then he went to the Jags. Signed with the Niners. Kyle Shanahan really thought long and hard about drafting him over Trey Lance in the 2021 NFL Draft. Signed with the Niners as a backup this offseason. And the jump from Brandon Allen and Joshua Dobbs to Mac Jones, I think, is a sizable one. I think that at some point down the road, once Mac Jones gets his confidence back, he was a Pro Bowler as a rookie, he could maybe be a fringe starter in this league. For him to be a backup fitting Kyle Shanahan's scheme well, playing point guard, distributing the ball, making quick decisions, I like that addition this offseason. And throughout the spring, there were highs and lows to what he was doing, trying to get acclimated with Shanahan's offense. He made some nice throws. He made some mistakes. Today, though, he uncorked a 50-yard pass way downfield to UDFA wide receiver Isaiah Neyor, who physically and with one play in the spring turned a lot of heads. And Neyor made a sprawling acrobatic grab in triple coverage. Not only was it a great throw from Mac Jones downfield, it was a great contested catch in traffic by Neyor. And with all of the question marks that the 49ers have at the wide receiver position, young players here at that spot have an opportunity to seize the moment. Isaiah Neyor, Tariq Owens, Jordan Watkins, and Jacob Cowing once he can get healthy. And Neyor is a very interesting player. Throughout the spring, his length, his size, his speed, his physicality, his athleticism impressed a lot of people. He stands out as one of those players who, when they walk off the bus, you say, that looks like an NFL player. And throughout the spring, he impressed people so much that George Kittle went on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast with Will Compton and Taylor Lewan and said, this Isaiah Neyor kid, the UDFA out of Nebraska, he can play. He's a freak. He took up 10 yards with 2 strides. He should at least be on the practice squad. And his story is certainly an interesting one. A 3-star recruit in high school coming out of Texas. He went the FCS route and played at Wyoming, same college that Josh Allen played at. Is Wyoming FCS? I believe it is. Then he transferred to Texas after a really good year one with the Wyoming Cowboys. Didn't do anything with the Longhorns. In the spring practice and the spring game for the Longhorns, he caught a long ball from Quinn Ewers, who got drafted this year by the Miami Dolphins. But after that, he didn't make his impact felt in the regular season. Then he transferred to Nebraska. But outside of that one season at Wyoming, he never really fully put it together. But he is really tall, 6'4", around 220 pounds. He runs a 4.4 flat, 40-yard dash. He only had 2 college seasons of 10-plus catches. He's a great tester and athlete with size, but my scouting notes on him coming out of college looks like Tarzan, sometimes plays like Jane. There's no reason that a guy this gifted should have had a college career in which he only had 2 years of 10-plus catches. But my goodness, could he end up being a hidden gem for the Niners. In the pre-draft, earned a relative athletic score of 9.9, nearly perfect. A lot of green here, 6'4", 218, 38-inch vert, 11-foot broad jump, the 4.4 flat, 40-yard dash, very good on the 20-yard split as well. So Isaiah Nair continues to be a name who we must remember and keep an eye out on. As for Brock Purdy was very sharp on day 2 of Niners training camp. 13 of 14 completions to attempts. And he was decisive. He was going through his reads. He was spreading the ball out, uncorked another long ball, throwing with touch and accuracy. And with Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey on the field, Brock Purdy looked comfortable. He looked decisive. He looked like the player who we saw a couple of years ago, right? Not the player last year who was dealing with all of that lack of stability offensively because the Niners were the second most injured offense in the NFL and players were just in and out of the lineup at all times. And Purdy has made a couple of really nice plays so far. On Wednesday, he hit George Kittle on a bomb downfield. First play of training camp, he took the top off of the defense. And on Thursday, he hit Kittle again on a back-footed dime. The Purdy to Kittle connection has been alive and well to kick off Niners training camp. And with the trade of Debo, with the issues at wide receiver, George Kittle is the number one option in this pass game. And if he can stay healthy, he still has it. He still has a lot of juice. I think that he could have a very productive season. And it's my hope that Kyle Shanahan uses him more in the pass game, less as a blocker. And I also think the addition of Luke Farrell can help out that as well. As for Mac Jones, have yourself a day, kid. He had the completion to Isaiah Nair on the deep ball. He had another chunk play to Jauan Jennings, and he was picking apart this Niners defense and Niners secondary, making really nice throws all around the field. And I know that Mac Jones has kind of become a meme, and people take him lightly and don't take him seriously as an NFL player. I know that he was also on that Alabama team that won the Natty in 2020. That was one of the best college football teams of all time, and he had so many weapons to throw to. But I liked him coming out of Alabama as a scheme fit for Kyle Shanahan because he can play point guard, distribute the ball, makes quick decisions when he's playing confident. That brain is firing on all cylinders, and he can really just distribute the ball all around the field and run Kyle Shanahan's scheme. Now, I didn't want the Niners to draft him because of the athletic limitations, and he had a clear ceiling. But in college, he had the most completions among all quarterbacks that year. His completion rate, number one among quarterbacks at 77.4%. He threw for 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, 4 picks. 11.2 yards per attempt led the country. Average yards or air yards per attempt led the country at 12.79. So he was pushing the ball downfield. Yards per completion at 14.5, and his rating was 203.1. Different scale for college football, but all of those numbers outside of the touchdowns and picks, number one among quarterbacks in college football. So Mac Jones can play, and we're not talking about him being a starter. We're talking about him being a backup for this team. And it's an upgrade to go from Brandon Allen and Joshua Dobbs to Mac Jones. He is not going to carve you with his legs, and he's not going to hurt you with his feet. He doesn't have running ability. He is a statue in that pocket. But throwing from the pocket, there is untapped ability there. And we have seen Kyle Shanahan develop the likes of C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, maximize Jimmy Garoppolo. He's developed Brock Purdy very well. I'm excited to see what he can do with Mac Jones. With that being said, an early concern in Niners training camp is the secondary. And I have talked about this a lot. The Niners are very thin at the cornerback spot. If Renardo Green or Deommodore Lenoir got hurt, the Niners are kind of screwed at corner. You have Upton Stout as a rookie, but he's a slot guy. Trey Brown's a former fourth-round pick who yesterday practiced well, but he's been hurt and didn't earn roles in his respective seasons with Seattle. You have Darrell Luter Jr., who is a good athlete. He's big, physical, and he can run, but he hasn't done anything up to this point in his career. Saran Neal is more of a special teams player. There is not a lot of depth in that secondary. And then Robert Saleh adding today, the competition at safety is wide open. Anybody can win that job. So Jair Brown, he is not a bona fide starter. Jason Pinnock, Richie Grant, they have opportunities there. Marquis Siegel has an opportunity there. Now, some of you might be saying, well, Chase, what about Malik Mustafa? He's hurt, coming off that ACL injury. So he's going to be a starter when he's healthy and when he comes back. But outside of that, going into week one, that is a competition that's wide open. And so far, the secondary struggling to start training camp. It might not be good, which is why this Niners defensive line is going to have to generate a pass rush this year. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, by the way, for Niners news, analysis, updates, and reactions from yours truly right here on the 49ers Report. Lock us in, join the movement, and hit that subscribe button. I also want to mention this deal, thanks to our fine friends at Fanatics. This Niners cutoff hoodie, they're getting sold like crazy. They were $55, now on sale for just $33. All you have to do, use that link down below, chatsports.com/49ers cutoff. That'll take you to Fanatics. Fanatics will know that the 49ers Report, Chase Sr. and Chat Sports sent you. Going to put that link in the show notes attached to the pinned comment, and it is already in the comment section of our live show here today. Let's talk about this Niners running back situation. How happy and healthy does Christian McCaffrey look as compared to last year where he could not shake the bilateral Achilles tendonitis? And then in the snow against Buffalo, you're like, CMC, looking like himself. Then he gets the shoestring tackle, falls on his knee, and suffered that knee injury, which cost him more time on top of only playing 4 games last year. So coming off winning Offensive Player of the Year in 2023, it was a disaster of a year for McCaffrey. The Madden curse hit. He only had 4 games in which he played, 0 touchdowns. But to start training camp, Christian McCaffrey looks really good. He looks like himself. And if the Niners can get even close to the 2023 version of McCaffrey, it will do wonders for this offense in pass protection, running the ball, catching the ball, him being used as a weapon and a decoy. He looks spry, quick, explosive, most importantly, healthy. And he has really helped to turn around and at least add a special element to Kyle Shanahan's offense. When Shanahan has had CMC, the production of this offense has been very elite. And then there's Isaac Guerendo, who is 220 pounds and runs 4.3. He's growing. He's improving. Jordan James has been one of the biggest winners of training camp so far. He's turning heads, contact balance, runs with physicality, did not cough it up once in fumbling at Oregon. And he has pass-catching ability, too. He's been one of the most impressive Niners so far in camp. Looks as though he can play right away. Corey Kiner is a former LSU recruit who went to Cincinnati and was one of the more productive backs in college football last year. He has a strong lower half. He can really churn. And then Patrick Taylor is a taller back who gives this team a lot of special teams value. Upon signing Quintez Cephas today, by the way, the Niners did release Israel Abanikanda. This tweet from Brad Graham of SF Niners on Jordan James has to get you excited. Rookie running back Jordan James has a chance to be my Jordan Mason 2.0. Vision, contact balance, twitch. Those are the things that stood out on day one of camp. The pads will tell us more, and they always tell us more, especially with running backs. As for Mykel Williams, 49ers first-round pick Mykel Williams looks like a dude. And to give you context for how big he is, this is him next to Nick Bosa, looking a lot bigger than Nick Bosa. That's saying something. And Mykel Williams, 2 days into training camp, has been impressing a lot of people. Looks to be the real deal. He's been running with the starters at defensive end opposite of Nick Bosa. On Wednesday, he bulldozed Dominic Pooney, who's a top 10 guard in all of football. Today, he had a would-be sack against Colton McKivitz. He's lined up at defensive tackle and at defensive end. He held up well in the run game against Trent Williams. He was looked at coming out of Georgia as one of the best edge-setting defensive players in this draft because of his ability to play, hold up well, and perform well against the run. And there was a play today where he stood over the offensive guard and then dropped back in coverage. Not impressed? How about with what Trent Williams said about Mykel Williams today? Trent Williams is one of the top offensive tackles in the history of football. He said he reminds him power-wise and size-wise of DeForest Buckner. That is high praise. And this is a great development for the 49ers. They badly needed to hit on their first-round pick. They badly need him to be impactful in 2025 because they're very thin along the defensive line. As for Upton Stout, he got some run with the ones, third-round pick out of Western Kentucky. He is 5'8" and 180 pounds sometimes on a good day. But he plays bigger than his size. He can really run, 4.4 speed, tough hands, makes plays on the football, and he provides this San Francisco secondary with sticky coverage. I think best case scenario, he starts in the slot because he's the best option there over Trey Brown. Then you have Deommodore Lenoir and Renardo Green on the outside. We also have a positive Brandon Aiyuk injury update. Noah Furtado on X putting this video out of Brandon Aiyuk running some light routes. You'll see Aiyuk right here in the all black, not playing DB, but he took off for that route there. I mean, there's a little stutter step, and he's at least doing something light. That is a positive sign for this Niners offense with BA. This photo pretty cool too. Bryant Young is a Hall of Famer, one of the best defensive tackles in the history of football. Trent Williams is a future Hall of Famer, one of the best offensive tackles in the history of the National Football League. Here they are, dapping up today at Niners training camp. There was also a video of Brandon Aiyuk doing some stretching alongside Jauan Jennings. I want everybody to caption this photo. What do you think they were talking about? BA saying, I held in last year looking for my new deal. You're not holding in. Kind of making me look bad, Jauan. You're actually practicing, going all out, looking for that new contract. Jauan Jennings, yeah, I'm all about ball, BA. I'm not about stirring up drama. I'm kidding. But good to see Aiyuk out on the field chopping it up with his teammates, and good to see Jauan Jennings out there practicing. Hopefully that results in him getting paid. Fred Warner leading this Niners defense yet again. He too, a future Hall of Famer. Best off-ball linebacker in football, well on his way to Canton. Last year was admirable that he played so well with a broken ankle that he suffered in week 4. Prior to that, though, he was playing even better. I thought he was on his way to maybe being, or at least competing for, Defensive Player of the Year honors. And he's going to lead this Niners defense once again. He too, getting a contract extension this offseason. And he is really taking number 53, linebacker D. Winters, under his wing. D. Winters is entering a big year 3, has an opportunity to start alongside 54 in All-Pro Fred. And here's what Robert Saleh said about D. Winters today. He's got a cool chance to start. It feels like every day he's learning something through repetition. Knock on wood. Hopefully he can continue to stay healthy and absorb every single one of these reps and learn all of the nuances that is required to play linebacker. And I think if he does, he's going to be a fun player to watch. Insight there from the new Niners defensive coordinator. Don't forget to lock us in. Hit that subscribe button. I encourage you to do so because it allows you to stay in the know with all things Niners. And don't forget also to give me a follow on social media. I'm always talking Niners here on YouTube, hitting you with shows every day, multiple YouTube shorts per day as well. But I'm always talking Niners at Chase_Senior on X and Instagram as well. Oh, Candy with the $50 $50 super chat, our first super chat of the live show today. Awesome, Candy. Well, you look at the super chat menu to my right. When you send in a donation, we always really appreciate it. That goes for everybody, and we always like to do something fun. So, Candy, $50 super chat is a Niners beer mug chug. San Francisco. Let's go.
Candy. Love you all the Niners. Thank you for the best shows. Candy, thank you for always being a real one. The realest.
Thank you, Candy. The realest out. Love y'all and the Niners. Thank you for the best shows. Now, earlier we talked about our top fans leaderboard. Candy with that $50 super chat was already in first place.
Woo! She
Separates herself from everybody else. She now has 2,575 points to her name. That's what happens when you send in a $50 super chat. You get more points, and you separate yourself on the leaderboard. Can anybody out there match Candy? Let me also throw this out there. If somebody does match Candy and overtakes Candy with the $100 super chat, I'm going to send you a 49ers Report hat as a thank you to your support here on the program.
Look at this, too. So everybody starting with Go 49ers at second, all the way down. You'll see, I'll keep scrolling.
75 XP.
Down to Joseph Knuppel at number 8, all tied at 75. So
okay.
Close race for number 2 and number 3.
2 through 8, everybody is tied. And then it goes down to 50 from there. So obviously we like to have a lot of fun here on the show. And we appreciate all of your support as always. How are we doing on mailbag questions there, Chet?
Let's see here.
Use the hashtag 49ers or send in a super chat if you want to be a part of our mailbag here.
Right now, we only got 2 questions, both from Big Brick 84.
Okay.
That's all we got, man.
Well,
use that hashtag.
If we don't get more questions, we're just going to sign off and call it a day.
Y'all want us to do a mailbag. Got to get those questions in, baby.
Yeah, got to get those questions in if you want us to do a mailbag. If not, we already put out one video earlier today. Our training camp reaction is going to be video number 2.
Football's so back.
How about this? I'm going to give you a 2-minute super chat shot clock. If somebody sends in a super chat within 2 minutes, we stay live. If not, we sign off. In the meantime, we'll continue to chop it up with the people in the comments section.
I want to ask y'all this. It's a big debate we have here in the office a lot. And, you know, PD, unfortunate, not here anymore to debate it with us, but he feels very strongly about this. Is football officially back? Let us know what y'all think. It's still, you know, training camp, not even preseason yet. When is football back? Is it back now? Is it back in the preseason? Is it back week 1? When is football back? I think it might be back already.
Type B for back, NB for not back. The argument from Matthew Peterson here at Chat Sports is that it's not back until the first regular season game. But I'll tell you this, the news cycle this week and how much we've been able to talk about, to the depths that we've been able to talk about these subjects, it's been the football news cycle. Like it feels as though football Twitter is back. Football YouTube is back, and it's awesome. Solaris, $5 in British pounds. Hope the Bang Bang Niner gang is doing good. I've just had a busy 2 past months, so I've been struggling to tune into these. Hey, you know what? We haven't done a lot of live shows really since the NFL draft because Chip and I have just been churning out so much regular content, and then I'm a part of the leadership council here at Chat Sports, so I've been interviewing a lot of job candidates to hire here, and we've had a lot of new hires. We might make some more, and so I've been wrapped up with that. So going live has been a little bit of a challenge, but now that we're back in the full swing, man, we're going to be ramping it up, no doubt about it. So look at this. Solaris sent in that $5 super chat, British pounds. He vaults up to second place in our top fans list. So he gets 350 XPs right there, 350 points. He also reset the super chat shot clock.
Let's go.
So we're going to reset here. Another 2 minutes on the clock. You send in a super chat, we stay live. If not, we sign off.
You want to just look at these couple questions that we have in the meantime?
For sure.
Just see what we got here.
Yeah, we'll take a look at some
Got a
questions
couple
here.
from Big Brick and then
Big
one
Brick
from
84.
Truth.
He's bricked up today. How did Mason Pline look out there today? You know, I'm not sure. Larry Krueger had him on the Krug show. I think it was last week. They did a really good interview. And I know that Krug is high on Mason Pline. I am too. You know, a former basketball player who's a really good athlete. The Niners really hid him last year. They didn't want him to play a lot in the preseason because if he put good plays on tape, another team could have poached him up. Because the Niners cut him, and then they brought him back on the practice squad because he cleared waivers. But as training camp progresses, I want to see what the former basketball player can do. Because tight end 1, tight end 2, they're locked down. It's going to be George Kittle and Luke Farrell. But tight end 3, it's a battle between Mason Pline, Ross Dwelly is back, Braden Willis fighting for that spot. Jake Tonches had a really good camp last year. So we'll see. Big Brick 84 with another one. My bold prediction, we go 15-2 in 2025. We sweep Seattle, sweep the Rams, split with Arizona, and that's an OT loss to the Cardinals. Then the only other losses to Houston against D'Amico, he gets us by 5. It's a Ravens-Niners Super Bowl rematch that we win at Levi's. Man, if it plays out that way, you got to get a lottery ticket. And if it plays out that way, we're going to have a fun season here on the 49ers Report. 15-2, I think that's a little bit too lofty. I have the Niners going 11-6. Reversing their 6-11 record to go 11-6 with this many rookie contributors, that would be a big success. And if they can get the revenge on the Ravens in the Super Bowl and do it at home, that would be special, ending that Super Bowl drought that's been in place since 1994. The Truth 49ers, do you think our wide receiver core will be a problem? I am a little bit worried about the Niners receiver room because we're just not sure when Brandon Aiyuk is going to come back. Can Ricky Pearsall hold it up? You know what you're going to get from Jauan Jennings, but ideally he's not your number one. I like DeMarcus Robinson as a player. 16 yards per catch last year, 500 yards. He's not a burner, but he can make plays downfield. He's been a winner every year that he's been in the NFL. His teams have made the playoffs. Last year, I thought he stepped in very nicely when Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua were hurt. I like Jordan Watkins as a prospect, but he hasn't played a game yet. Jacob Cowling, hamstring injury. Isaiah Nair, fascinating athlete, as we talked about earlier. But can he put it all together? Is he a good football player? So, yes, definitely some concerns at that wide receiver position. But what you will have regardless, I think it's a successful ground game, and you have George Kittle. And for Kyle Shanahan, given the play caller that he is, the play designer that he is, I still think that he can make the pass game work. Candy!
Oh!
Another 50! That's her second 50 of the day. No questions. You always answer everything. Candy. Candy. Candy.
Woo!
We're not worthy, but we appreciate you. How about hearing from the legend John Wallace again? $5 super chat. Bang, bang. Miss y'all. Man, I'm ready. Getting one of them hoods? Oh, you're getting one of those hoodies.
Oh,
the
yeah,
cut-off hoodie.
cutoffs.
Thanks to our friends at Fanatics. Awesome stuff. So Candy has really separated herself. She now has 5,075 points. She is our YouTube top fan. In second place is Solaris, who is going to improve his standing in second place with a $2 super chat. He didn't say anything, just supporting the show. We appreciate you. All right. Up to $114 in super chats. Awesome, awesome stuff. Thanks to everybody for donating to the show. Solaris, British pounds. Good stuff. All right, myself and Chip, we're going to sign off. Just wanted to go live real quick to do a day 2 training camp reaction. In case you missed it, you can rewatch this show. And in case you missed the news of the Niners signing another wide receiver, that video is already up on the channel. BK from the Bay, what up, fellas? What's up, BK? Good to hear from you again. Be more like Jennings from Jerry. Exactly. Love how much he loves ball. All right. If you haven't already done so, lock us in, hit that subscribe button, be on the lookout for continuous Niners coverage. This is the first time that we've gone live here in a little while, but with training camp underway, we'll be doing some more live shows. We'll be live for watch parties and every single regular season game. Had to contribute to the show from Anthony Pastel. What's up, Anthony? So you see that rectangular box with the $ sign through it? That's how people are sending in super chats. But we're going to sign off, so hopefully next time you can send in the super chat. Thanks to Anthony, Candy, John Wallace, everybody else for tuning into the show. Our guy, Solaris MC, for the super chats as well. We'll catch you soon here on the 49ers Report. San Francisco.